And Kat, what is the tip for today?
Tip number 43 is don't follow your heart.
We're going to speak about the difference between rules and boundaries, because I know there's a lot of conversation about relationships nowadays. And, I have my boundaries. I have my rules and boundaries. What's the difference?
It's interesting you say, well, you put it that way, but once you've said it, once you've agreed to it, then it brings a form of accountability.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to experience growth unless there's accountability.
Structured. She has actually said let's find a middle ground, because again, you can get to a weekend and being someone that's spontaneous, there's nothing planned, so you kind of go with the flow.
Rules for a secular mindset are different than rules for a godly mindset. You find, right? How are we doing, Robust family? Look, before this show starts, which I know you're going to enjoy, can I ask you just to do me a small favor? I need all of you to give a robust smash to that like and subscribe button. Why? Because it helps us a lot. We want to get this material out there, and it makes sure that you do not miss a breakfast show beat on this Liberty Radio YouTube channel. All right, guys, do it right now, and I'll see you in the show. That's right, it's that time, it's time to shine. This is your breakfast show, and we're here with that rhyme, and I'm sure you enjoyed 27 minutes of being inspired, but now we are ready, fired, and ready to go here on the breakfast show. I'm your host, Robert Ashitey, your robust presenter, with you for the next 2 hours here on your breakfast show. And also we have the one, the only, the lady of sound herself is the one and only Kathleen this morning. To me, money.
Bom dia.
Bom dia, Kat. Tudo bem?
Yes.
Como vai?
Muito bom.
Oh, tá bom. So what's happening this morning? Look, man, as soon as you do Portuguese, it just has to fire. But everyone's speaking Portuguese. This is the spirit here at the Universal Family. How are you feeling this morning, Kat?
I'm good.
Yeah, you're looking good,
Yeah.
You're looking good. Did you sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some sleep. How many hours?
I'm not going to share that.
Yeah?
But it's good for me.
It's good for you. That sounds scary, Kat.
I went to 1 a.m.
Yeah, my battery ran out during the night, so I don't know how many.
5 hours of sleep.
You did 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to do more, okay? But it's okay, you're looking good.
Yeah.
You're looking good, you're awesome. All right, so Kat's already, it looks that way. And as you can see behind her, we have the one and only Lucas, the man with the plan. How you doing, warrior?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I can see like you acclimatize into the environment, dude. Like, yeah, it's good.
You guys are rubbing off on me.
We're rubbing off on you. It's that breakfast show environment, It's just like, and you're sitting right next to Kat, so you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, if you start to sleep, you're like, no, there's no space here to sleep. There's no room. But it's great having us on the show, and you're doing a phenomenal job, so keep going. All right, also joining us this morning, we have returning back. I'm telling you, it's my brother here, the guy who drops it to you straight, and he speaks direct. I'm telling you, all of his lyrics you can try and inspect, but it always comes up trumped. It's the one and only, my brother, Samuel Dankwa. Good morning to you, Samuel.
Good morning, breakfast show listeners.
Hey.
Thank you for having us again.
Hey, how are we doing today, brother?
I'm good, supercharged, ready.
Yeah, how are you?
To go.
Let me check. I don't know if I asked you this before. Are you a morning person?
I can be.
You can be. Okay. Kind of in the middle. Depends which.
I can be what I want.
Because seriously, since you've come on the breakfast show and joined us, every morning you've always been ready. Like some of us are more fireworks, but you're just like, shh, we're ready. Let's do,
I'm switched on.
Yeah.
24/7.
This
Even
is
when
it.
I'm sleeping.
That's the spirit. That's how we roll. All right. So it's great to have you with us today.
Thank you
and guys, we're going to get into this today. But before we do, we're going to go into our new segment of the breakfast show. I can see the live chat is popping off, and we're going to do the live chat in just a moment. So make sure you're telling all your friends to connect and make sure they join in, because it is Relationship Power Thursday. We're looking at tools, tips, and ideas, ways to have good relationships with ourselves, those around us, and romantic relationships as well, as we're going to be showing elements from the Love Talk seminar. All right, and this year 2025 we're going to doing it a bit differently as well. We're giving a bit more of a gap. So usually we have the previous week's Love Talk seminar. We're going to have the week before. So it'll work out. We did it last week, and I think it was very effective. And so we're going to do that today. And I've got so much lined up for you, but I'm going to tell you in just a bit, because before we continue, we are going to get into our 50 tips to shield our faith by Bishop Marceda. Our new segment on the Breakfast Show. It's been blessing me, and I hope it blesses you too. All right, just a very quick tip. So let's get this show on the road. And Kat, what is the tip for today?
Tip number 43 is don't follow your heart.
We're going in. And even though in the universal family, it could be very common to hear this, right? If you're not part of the universal family, you're probably like, wait, television says follow your heart. But let's see what Bishop has to say. Okay, he says this: don't follow your heart. God is spirit, and he speaks to us through our spirit, our intellect, not through our emotions. Use your head first in matters, especially in your love life. The heart is stubborn, proud, and unstable. To overcome struggles and challenges, faith needs stability, which can only be achieved by the use of our intellect. All right, very, very powerful. And I think this is something, this piece you can actually read again and again just to let it soak in. But the bottom line is our heart, the source of our feelings, our emotions are very malleable according to our circumstance, what's happening at the time, and it can go up and down. However, faith requires stability, and that's why we need to be more thinking more than we are feeling, because feelings get us into big trouble. Yes or no, Samuel?
It does. You know, and as we can see there, it says God is spirit, and he speaks to us, you know, in our intellect. And how many people ask this, they ask the question, you know, does God speak to me? How does God speak to me? Well, if you're in tune with your emotions, you will never hear God. But if you're in tune with your intellect and you see God, you will hear him. He will speak, he will nudge. And then you'll find the direction, wisdom, guidance, and whatever you need in life.
Absolutely. And how many times have people, you know, struggled in their faith or derailed in faith because they went by feelings? How many people have had a distance from finding God or receiving the Holy Spirit because they're expecting a feeling, maybe from places that they've been previously, or some idea they have, they're waiting for an emotion or feeling. But because feelings are so unstable, God doesn't use that to reach us, our intellect. And the best way to use our intellect to reach God is knowing his word. His word takes out feelings, takes out emotions, and gives us clear rules, clear guidelines to believe in it in order to reach him, right?
Yeah, his word is a solid ground. It's the pillar, is the backbone. It's what we can depend on. It's what we can rely on. It's what we can entrust on. Emotions we can't, because they are fleeting. It's like the waves of the ocean.
Absolutely.
It's up and down, up and down. It's unreliable.
Absolutely.
So we can't base our life on that. Our life is too precious for that.
Beautiful. And you imagine when we see the word of God, we see people seeing answers from God using their intellect, their rationale, and you see miracles happen. Not because of sympathy or feelings, but they just understood. And so, especially in love life, today is going to be relationship power, head over heart every single time. Otherwise, we could sabotage and crush our journey of faith. In it, especially in love life, that's a huge one, right?
Yeah, it is.
Heart, or head over heart, big time. But Hollywood tells us different. So guys, let's take this on board today. The tip: don't follow your heart. Don't live by your emotions. Don't be looking for feelings. God speaks to us through our rationale, and we think based on God's word. That's, as you said before, a stable ground. That's the tip for today. Let's keep it going, guys. It's your breakfast show. All right. Lovely. Okay, guys, so we're kicking off now. That was our tip for today. If you haven't got this book, I'd say pick one up. You know, it's just a nice quick word for you just to get things right, because sometimes we're not thinking right as human beings.
It's even less than £3 on Apple Books.
Is it? So it's on Apple Books, so you can get it electronically. So that means even right now someone could pick it up and they can read with us in the morning or by themselves.
I'll do that later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. All right, guys, so let's keep it going. We're going to get ready. We're going to get fired, wired, and inspired. We're going to come back with our morning coffee question for today. I'm actually going to give it to you right now, actually, the morning coffee question, because we really want to get this show moving very dynamically this morning, because today we're going to be talking about rules in a relationship. That was an element of the Love Talk seminar concerning relationship. We're going to speak about the difference between rules and boundaries, because I know there's a lot of conversation about relationships nowadays. And, I have my boundaries. I have my rules and boundaries. What's the difference? We're even going to have a bit of dialogue. We've prepared an AI reconstruction of an event that you guys are going to comment on. Yeah, first time here on the Breakfast Show. We're learning, we're getting skilled up.
How amazing.
And we're also going to be having some conversations between me and my brother here, Samuel, and we're going to be talking. We're going to be having some dialogue in how to set rules, because sometimes when you're in a relationship, it's hard to get things across because you're concerned, am I coming across wrong?
Yep.
How can I engage?
Yep.
And sometimes that you want to, I don't know about you, but you just like, okay, let me wait for the right time.
Patience.
Is now the right time? Is it? Okay, but if I come
to 10.
across, it's not easy. It's not easy. Some people I seem very flamboyant, but when it comes to those harder things, it's either I do it by faith and I come across rough, or I try to be patient, and that's when it gets a bit. So we're going to have some dialogue where we're going to show some good ways to set rules in a relationship to get the other on board. And today, we're looking at rules in a relationship. How important is that?
They are important. I think it is important for structure, to organize yourself, and to make sure both are on the same page.
Absolutely.
Because marriage, you have two different people. So if you don't have rules, then both can go astray.
That's true. And you know, and the thing about it is, especially when we come to the dimension of faith, right? God's things. Rules for a secular mindset are different than rules for a godly mindset.
Yeah, definitely.
We find, right? And so this is going to be very interesting today, because maybe we might have secular mindsets seeping into our godly environment when it comes to our relationship life. So it's good that we're having this discussion today. And we set a morning coffee question, right, Kat?
Yep.
Let's have a look at that morning coffee question for today. Let's have a look at
The
that.
morning coffee question for today was, do you think rules make or break relationships, and why? And would you consider yourself strict, flexible, or ruleless, as in having no rules when it comes to rules?
Oh, Father of Light. You know, I have a thing about me where I'm a stickler for would I say rules? Just what is agreed.
Yeah.
I'm a real stickler. I'm like, no, but you said this, and I might seem a bit crazy, you know, like, oh, I said this, so I'm, whether I like it or not, whether I feel like it or not, I'm owing to you.
Yeah.
So, and I know that transgressed into my marriage as well when I got married, but it was a kind of thing of not even things that we agreed verbally, but what God says and my expectation. So it's like when I see something a bit different, because everything that they do or I do, we're comparing it to scripture. Right. So it's like you know, that's a super highway in the brain, like, and it's like, no, but this isn't meant to be like this. And you could become very inflexible, right? I believe you know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
I mean, it's interesting you say it, well, you put it that way, but once you've said it, once you've agreed to it, then it brings a form of accountability.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to experience growth unless there's accountability. And each of us saying to you, no, you said that, you also said that, we must stick to it. Of course, both will not always be on the same wavelength, so you need to help each other to stick to that, to keep going along the same path of agreement until you see the growth.
Yeah. But you know, here's the thing about comparing it to scripture, right? Is that the way I understood it, they might not have got the memo yet.
There you go.
And so that's where the challenge could be, and it's like, Christians are freaking out, like, what's going on up here? All right, put a ring on the finger, like, what happened in here? So we've got some comments here in our Breakfast Show What's Up line. All right, we're excited. So we got Victoria in Namibia. She sent a message in the chat. Or here, soldier. Okay. If you're gonna send in, if you're gonna type it in the live chat. If you're gonna speak it, very short, please, because we got a lot of content today. Send us a message in the WhatsApp line. All right, Victoria, it's good to see you, Victoria. You're absolutely awesome. Now, Lady Jazz has something to say. Yeah, come on, let's hear it.
Hold on.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Don't malfunction.
you know, here's the thing about using.
Robert.
Oh, I'm okay.
Robert.
Sorry, it's not me. It's Liberty Radio.
Ready?
Okay, I got it.
3, 2, 1.
Good morning, breakfast family. I hope you're all doing good. So, interesting question. So, my answer would be rules are definitely important, because if there's no rules, there's no boundary. But then, if you're going to make rules in a relationship, it has to be realistic. If it's a rule for your own personal gain, then it's not going to work. But if you've got your rules because of your own personality, but at the same time you consider the other person's rule, then it will work. I would say that I am in between. I think I'm on the strict side.
Okay.
You know, if I make certain rules and I know it's for our own good, and if those rules are broken, it can affect the relationship, then obviously I'm going to be strict about it.
Yeah.
But then also, I'm the negotiator, so I'm the type of person that, you know, I would negotiate as well. Like, if you don't agree, but then you've got another suggestion, then I would go with that if it helps as well. So I'm more strict and the negotiator. And yeah, I do 100% agree with rules. Anyway, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, bye.
That's interesting, right? That was a lot of like her perception, right?
Yeah,
Depending on whether to be strict or to be flexible.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think that's discernment, right?
It's a healthy balance way of looking at it. You have to be strict. Why? Because you know that the rule is the vision. It's what is needed. You have to stick to it.
Yeah.
But also you have to be flexible and, like she said, negotiative in order for you to know that, okay, you're not always going to be on top of your game.
Yeah.
So you need to give room for growth. You need to give room for you to persevere to that.
Yeah.
And we're not perfect. No one is perfect.
Nobody's perfect. Because I remember I was like a military sergeant in the beginning of our marriage. And you know, the earlier version of myself.
You declared a coup.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, you need to do this, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, look, you know, God says, you know, and that was, you know, 21-year-old Robert, right? But then the Holy Spirit spoke in my heart and is like, you know, you need to give room because otherwise you can suffocate the person when they're making their way to grow, spiritually speaking.
Because
So
you can't force growth. That's the painful thing about marriage. You can't force the other one to grow.
Yeah.
You just have to be the example, persevering. And even in so doing, as painful as it may be, it builds up good character in you as well.
That's right. That's right.
It's a
But
win-win.
I remember Ignatius said something that sometimes we can be so much because you've got the law, then you've got grace, right?
Yes,
That's
very
Jesus,
good,
right?
very
He
good,
fulfills,
very
all right? And then Ignatius said something that I fully agreed with. Sometimes we let things go too much and you have to reel it back in. It's like, it's so interesting. So this is why we need the offer of love. We've got one here from David, our Caribbean Christian over there from Stamford Hill. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, with the morning coffee question, I think rules, it makes a relationship, doesn't break it. I think it should make it. And for me, I consider myself, it's not easy because I'll say I'm not, I would say strict but flexible. I say strict but flexible.
Oh, come on, which one is
The
it?
second part of the question is not easy for me to answer.
Okay.
Because I know I'm strict. I wouldn't, it's between strict and flexible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe it's another one depending on how you discern the situation. Because the problem with that is that we can discern the situation wrong.
Yeah.
And we're strict on something just because of our upbringing or something. We determine it as something I need to be strict about, you know, and we can have challenges.
Something that triggers you or triggers something from the past and you think, no, it has to be this way.
Yeah.
But then you have to be flexible to know that if somebody else's point of view needs to be considered, you need to
That's
also
right.
see what the other person thinks about it.
That's the grace
why
side.
I believe the word of God is always the bedrock when he says, can two work together if they are not in agreement?
Absolutely.
So in anything, there has to be that communication,
Love it.
you know.
By the way, we're going to be showing you how to initiate a good conversation in a couple of minutes on the show. All right, those hard, difficult conversation you're gonna need that in your tool belt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that now, man. I'm gonna say that now because sometimes communicate set things on fire. You know what I'm saying? All right, we got a new caller here today. We got Analo Goodwa from South Africa. May you please add me to your broadcast?
lovely.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, mi
Part of the
amigo.
family.
Analo, yeah, that's good. That's lovely, Analo. Make sure I mark this here so that I don't, You know my condition. Yeah. All right. So there we go. Okay, we got Victoria in Namibia. Let's see when she can go in. Victoria goes in. She washes your heart with the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Check this out.
Ready?
Good morning, family. I think to me, I don't know why it sounds like rules, like it sounds like a controlling me. But anyway, I understand the way you guys are coming.
Okay, so she said rules sound like a controlling thing.
from. But I think me, I'm a stickler of agreement, because to me, in a relationship, it's a partnership thing. So though it might come out like a rule and stuff like that, but I think I can stick. I'm flexible with agreement. Whatever that we agree upon, we go for that. Thank you. Bye.
She said she's flexible, but it was a bit difficult to hear.
Yeah.
You know, she did say that rules can sound like controlling.
Yeah.
Especially in this generation, right?
Yeah.
Impose rules, you know, it's my life, my rules, you know. But from what I could hear, she said that she's generally quite flexible. I wish we could, maybe you should type Victoria so we can get more of what she said, because it's really important. All right.
It makes sense, but also, you know, one thing I sense from what she's saying is that, well, in contrary to what she's saying, we have to also be careful to have boundaries as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't be too flexible.
Yeah, you can't be too flexible.
And then when there's no boundaries, and then where is the limit? You open up
a Pandora's box of nightmares. And also Becca is in the house. Oh, there's somebody at the door.
There's somebody at the door.
Somebody. I don't believe it.
Wow.
He made it through. Junior, I'm beholding wonderful things today. I will let you settle in, my man. He made it. All right, good. So, guys, we had our morning coffee question today. We're asking the question about relationship rules. Would you consider yourself strict? Would you consider yourself flexible, or rule-less? Are you lawless? And how important is it? How important? All right, so we're going through it today, but now guess what? I want to show you a video. Something when we're moving up here we're gonna go straight to the AI one, Kat. Okay. So we're gonna go straight to the AI one that we have this morning. And basically, we have a scenario here. It's a scenario. It's the first time we've done this. And we want to get your take. It's called The Weekend Dilemma. It's a robust video, so we've completely designed it using AI. And I want you all to have a good listen. And we're going to ask you some questions on this. All right? So I'll prompt you on the questions already. So you're going to have Anna and you're going to have Jake here. All right? Anna, she's organized and she values planning. Jake is spontaneous, prefers to go with the flow. All right, and we're going to ask you, what's your take on Anna's approach to planning versus Jake's on spontaneity? We're going to ask you, who do you think is being more reasonable in the situation and why? We're going to ask you, how would you suggest Anna and Jake resolve this to meet both their needs? And we're going to ask you, have you faced a similar situation in your own relationship? And what worked for you? And finally, we'll ask you, do you think having a rule about planning weekends is practical, or does it risk stifling spontaneity? All right, so those are 5 questions we're going to be asking you. Have a listen to this. The first time we're doing this, it's going to go through, and most likely it's going to loop again, just in case you missed something you can pay close attention to. I hope you're all with me. It's your breakfast show. Junior's in the house. He's alive and kicking. Look at this guy. I like this guy's smile, you know. I just see that smile. You got that winning smile, man.
Thank you, I
game show.
it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, you're still single, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, here we go. The WhatsApp line, you know how we go. This is how we run breakfast show.
WhatsApp lines on the screen.
That's it. You know, we're global.
You know it's a message.
You know the message. I put him on the screen. Just put him one more time. Yeah, this. Look at this charming man. Sit up, dude. Sit up. That's it. That's it. That's your camera there. Yeah, this is Junior. Oh, Junior. Look at that smile. It's lovely. All right, let's get back on track to the AI piece. Check this out. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the show. Just thought I'd interrupt. If you haven't done already, smash the robust like and subscribe button. Why not? You like us, I like you. Why not?
Hey Jake, have you thought about what we'll do this weekend? I was thinking we could plan a day trip or something fun.
Nah, I haven't. Let's just see how we feel when the weekend comes. I don't want to be locked into anything.
But if we don't plan, we might end up doing nothing. You know how it goes. Saturday will roll around, and we'll waste half the day figuring it out.
What's wrong with taking it easy? I don't want to turn every weekend into a scheduled event.
It's not about scheduling every second, Jake. It's about making the most of our time together. Don't you think it's fair to set aside one day for something we both enjoy?
I get that, but I feel like you're always pushing for a plan. What's wrong with just being spontaneous for once? Rules like this take the fun out of it.
I'm not trying to take away the fun, Jake. I just feel like without some structure, we end up missing out. Can we find a middle ground? Hey, Jake, have you thought about what we'll do this weekend? I was thinking we could plan a day trip or something. Hey, Jake, have you thought about what we'll do this weekend? I was thinking we could plan a day trip or something fun.
Nah, I haven't. Let's just see how we feel when the weekend comes. I don't want to be locked into anything.
But if we don't plan, we might end up doing nothing. You know how.
Take the fun out of it.
I'm not trying to take away the fun, Jake. I just feel like without some structure, we end up missing out. Can we find a middle ground? Hey, Jake, have you thought about what we'll do this weekend? I was thinking we could plan a day trip or something fun.
Nah, I haven't. Let's just see how we feel when the weekend comes. I don't want to be locked into anything.
But if we don't plan, we might end up doing nothing. You know how it goes. Saturday will roll around, and we'll waste half the day figuring it out.
What's wrong with taking it easy? I don't want to turn every weekend into a scheduled event.
It's not about scheduling every second, Jake. It's about making the most of our time together. Don't you think it's fair to set aside one day for something we both enjoy?
I get that, but I feel like you're always pushing for a plan. What's wrong with just being spontaneous for once? Rules like this take the fun out of it.
I'm not trying to take away the fun, Jake. I just feel like without some structure, we end up missing out. Can we find a middle ground?
Okay, guys, so there we have it. That was our AI thing. AI put the images together. We put the script in there and got the sound. And so we're going to ask you guys your thoughts, you know. So we had two different personalities. We had Anna, organized, values planning. We had Jake, spontaneous, prefers to go with the flow. All right. And, you know, what's your take on Anna's approach versus Jake's approach? Who do you think was being more reasonable in the situation? Why? How would you suggest Anna and Jake resolve this to meet both their needs? And have you faced a similar situation in your own relationship? And what worked for you? And finally, we're going to just ask you, do you think having a rule about planning weekends is practical, or does it risk stifling spontaneity? Now, you seem like you're very much geared to answer this one, Sammy. What are your thoughts?
You might have to take the questions step by step.
Yeah, I mean, you could just give a generalization, like in terms of what you saw.
I think what she said in the end is the best. Is the way forward in terms of let's come together. What did you say again?
I'm not trying to take away fun, Jake. I just feel like some without structure, we end up missing out. Can we find a middle ground?
Can we find a middle ground? That's the key word. You need to communicate. Jake needs to be more willing to come forward and speak.
Yeah. Not
too laid back.
Yeah.
And Anna also needs to be a little more relaxed and to understand what is making him be that way.
Yeah.
So there has to be middle ground. I like Anna's approach because we're speaking about what is more reasonable, what is more, and you know her planning skills and planning ability, showing that she's thinking about things. She doesn't want to wants to waste time. So her approach is great, but good, the way you do it also matters.
Do you think she might have been a bit too pushy?
No, I think that's who she is, and I think when you look back, when you take a step back, both of them actually do match well. Jake is maybe laid back, but he has that spontaneity in the sense that he has more of a fun outlook in things. Maybe he just wants to chill out because he just wants to spend more time together with her.
I feel like he was like, whatever will be, will be.
Yeah, which is good. Sometimes, you know, that's good. It takes the pressure off things. You know, so Anna can tap into that and vice versa. Jake can also tap into Anna's organizational skills. So there's no right and wrong. The wrong is not doing anything about it, not coming to an agreement. Yeah,
because Anna brought it up, so that was good.
Yeah,
to to get everyone's viewpoints. Jake would have just left it.
Yeah,
like and then the Saturday would have happened. He might have been okay, but she would have felt that maybe would have.
He would have done something. I have a feeling that that kind of personality will just spring something out of nowhere. Or may hide behind a couch and then they say. And just
surprise. Junior, what are your thoughts on that piece?
No, I agree with everything that Mr. Samuel was saying. Like, for example, I think in terms of Jake's personality, I can definitely relate to that. I'm someone that I'm not really the best with planning. I'm very spontaneous as a person. But I definitely see the benefit in having someone like Anna in his life, where she's structured. She has like she said, let's find a middle ground, because again, you can get to a weekend and being someone that's spontaneous, there's nothing planned, so you kind of go with the flow. Whereas let's say we're going to have breakfast at this time. We're going to be at this place at this time. Like, there's more of a structure.
So you'd appreciate that?
I'd appreciate that.
So do you think Jake handled it wrongly, in the wrong way?
I would say, yeah, just because, again, you can see, especially from the video, he was unwilling to be flexible. Like, there was no, flexibility. There was no middle ground at all. There was no effort from him to try and make that change. And of course, you know, if someone's completely opposed to what you're bringing, and you're pushy as well, like it's just.
And Kat, do you think Anna was being a bit of a bully?
No, I don't think so.
You cut from the same tree, innit?
I mean, I'm more like him, where I prefer to stay at home, chill out. But when someone plans something, they put in the effort. It's not like, I'm not gonna go.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you think that Jake was been a bit ungrateful?
Yeah.
Not appreciating her?
Yeah.
Gosh, what would you do in that situation if you was to deal with Jake?
I don't know. I'll stay at home.
Dinner.
Find something to do at home.
For a week.
If he's not willing to go outside, find something to do together at home.
Okay, all right, that's interesting. That's interesting. And what about you, Lucas? Do you think like Anna was being too pushy, and Jake was right? You know, what do you think?
I think Jake's in the wrong. I think if someone goes out of their way to do something nice for you and you don't want to do it, I think it's you're not really taking into account what they're trying to do for you. You're more thinking of yourself. Okay.
Have you been in such a situation like that, Samuel?
Not to that extent. I mean, listening to what you guys are saying, I can see the fault is in Jake in the sense that his unwillingness to do something about it. But I mean, I'm more of a laid-back person, similar to him. My wife tends to want to plan a week ahead. Okay. So Monday, she's already saying to me, "What are we doing this Saturday? Yeah. What are you going to do in the morning? What are you going?" And so I'm like, "No, we've got a whole week ahead of us. Yeah. You know, anything can come up." So yeah, I'm a little bit laid back, but I do appreciate the effort that my wife goes through. And I'll be okay. I'll take her through what we need to do. Yeah. But then I always say in the end, anything come up. So be flexible and know that if anything changes, we might need to.
But that, you acquired that with time. Or you've always been that kind of guy.
I've always been tolerant and flexible and accommodating. Okay. Because I understand that her intentions are well. Okay. If she wants to spend time, it's for us to invest in the marriage. So I get the intention. I understand it.
Because you know what, I'm more. I know you guys are saying you're like easy going. I'm more in the aspect. I'm more like Anna.
Really?
Yeah. The reason why, because I like surprising, and to surprise someone, you need to be organized.
Yeah. Okay,
you know, I want to shock. I want to get you to have be like, oh my gosh. So I would intrinsically organize something, everything, the movements and all that kind of stuff. You know, so Nicola can get carried along. But however, I do kind of there's sometimes I'll be like, oh man, we just chill. You know, we just chill. Yeah. But I generally, because I like the surprise. And I like to get the most out of an occasion or a location. So I'll organize it. Yeah.
If you prepare a big extravagant day, right? You plan a day out, you go into the cinemas, whatever, and then your wife just says, "No, I don't want to go. I'm gonna stay home."
I'll do the same thing I do when she goes to the buffet and she has only one plate. I want my money's worth out of this.
You'd go that.
I want my money's worth out of this. You go on 2 more plates, woman. And this to be going.
Did you drag her?
We're going.
Oh wow,
we're going.
Even though she's upset with you the entire day because you dragged her out.
No, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, been together 20 years. She
knows. She knows. In the beginning. Yeah. If it was in the beginning.
If it's in the beginning, I probably wouldn't listen at all.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'll just probably get upset and just say, I let it burn. It's just fine, burn. Them times. But yeah, so we got some very interesting comments here in the live chat, right? We've got one there from Chanel from Kilburn. Saying, I want to add the living and raising a daughter with an upper sight character help me to be balanced, which is a good preparation for me when being in a marriage and creating rules. Absolutely. Chanel also says, I think both Anna and Jake needs to negotiate. Neither of them are in the wrong due to different personalities. Yeah. And Victoria says, we have to have boundaries because even though I am flexible, I shouldn't be too flexible because things might not work out. It might turn out to go with the flow. And Will's in the house. Hey, what's up, Will? My man Will's in the house up in there. Yo, we'll go now. He's sorting out some stuff. That's why he couldn't be with us today. Will says, only one plate at the buffet. should be illegal.
Yeah.
You see, the only thing that woke him up is the food.
He said, I have to comment on that one, man. Listen, man, I want my money's worth. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys. So look, we're going into it today. We're going to be showing elements from the Love Talk seminar with Bishop James and Miss Helena, and it's going to be a blessing. But just to kind of make clear, because we're speaking about rules, we're speaking about boundaries, but there is a difference.
Yeah.
There are differences between rules and boundaries, guys. I mean, right now, as I'm going to explain this, put in the live chat, what do you think the difference is between rules and boundaries? Because here I was going through it with AI, and she gave me this. She said, while rules and boundaries are related, they serve different purposes in a relationship. Rules versus boundaries. So rules are mutually agreed upon guidelines that both partners follow. Typically applied to both people in the relationship. Aim to create structure, as you mentioned, fairness and expectations in how the relationship operates. An example, we always resolve conflicts before going to bed. So, mutually agreed. Boundaries are personal limits that define what you are comfortable with and how you want to be treated. It's personal. This one comes with this how I want to be treated. Are set by each individual and do not require mutual agreement. This is how I roll. Deal with it. Right? And it could be a positive and negative, right? Because like you're not going to hit me. You know, what you lift up your hand to do what? Right? Boundaries. It protects emotional, physical, and mental well-being by making clear what is acceptable and what isn't. Example, I need alone time when I'm overwhelmed, so I may not always be available to talk immediately. So, difference between rules and boundaries. Rules are mutually agreed upon. Boundaries are my personal limits, what I will and what I won't accept. Just to make that clear. All right, guys. So we're going to be going into it today. We're going to go to a very short timeout. It's 9 o'clock right now. I love it. I got here something called key differences, but I'll show you that on another occasion. But when we come back from the timeout, we're going to quickly go over some communication resolution tools to implement rules in the relationship. Yep. And
Alo's got a very good idea on the chat.
Sure.
So he says maybe one weekend Jake plans the days and Anna plans the following date or weekend. Yeah. That way they can learn more about each other, and over time they might find a common ground.
Yeah. Beautiful
Great idea.
Yeah, and that's an aloe, yeah?
Yeah.
Beautiful. That sounds fantastic. Chanel says, oh my days, sorry for the misspelling and typo. I was running to work while typing. Lady Jazz can do everything. She's so awesome.
Is it legal to run in text? you might run into a tree or a lamppost.
All right, so we're going to have some conversation starters basically to help have fair, healthy, and mutual rules in different areas of their relationship. Like Victoria said, nowadays rules can be seen as control, right? And maybe you have someone who's had some trauma, some experience in the past, and to communicate with them may be a bit tight, cold, hard, you know what I mean? And so we're going to have some communication ideas here that will make it a lot more easier. But before that, guess what? Let's find out who you are on the scale. All right, we're going to find out who you are on the scale because we're talking about rules. Are you thriving, controlling, or passive? We're going to ask a few questions now. We're going to use the VVox, right, Kat? I'm going to use the VVox, our friend the VVox, and we're going to do our best to kind of fly through this now, all right? Because I know I promised you that we'll also give you some words, things that you can say to set rules in your relationship or your relationship when it does happen, etc., which I know everyone's looking forward to. Okay, but let's go into this. Let's find out where we are, because depending on where we are, if we're passive, if we're controlling, etc., will affect how we approach the questions that we'll ask. All right, so let's go into this, Cat. We've got the VVox there. This is it on the screen right now. All right, good. All right, and we're going to be asking the question. All right, are you passive, my friend? Are you thriving, controlling, or passive? All right, thriving, controlling, or passive. We're going to learn about ourselves today, and we're going to find out about ourselves. Tell me about yourself. Gosh, don't make me tell you about yourself. Watch AI. All right, so Kat.
Oh, a fun thing to do with AI. Ask AI, what do you know about me? And it'll give you everything that it knows about you.
Oh, snap.
Because it keeps like the details that you give them.
Oh, snap.
So
okay.
It's very creepy.
I've got a comment here from Derek in Plasto. Let's see what he's saying.
Unfortunately, not today.
Oh.
Unfortunately, not today.
It's okay, bro. It's okay. No worries. I know that because I wanted him to come in and chime in on the conversation. But that's cool. All right. So here we go. Let's have a look. Let's go into it right now, guys. Let's get this show on the road. I'm really excited about this, man. I'm really, really excited. This is so good. It's so good. All right. And so we're going to have a series of 8 questions. And these questions, you're going to answer them as honestly as possible. It's going to give you some scenarios. If you're single, then you know thyself, right? And then we'll calculate the answers at the end. So we want to breeze through this. So when you get the answers come up, don't spend a lot of time, please. Just choose A, B, C. And make sure you record your answer. Record your answer as well.
Also, it's completely anonymous.
Yeah.
So no need to.
No one needs to know. Yeah. So if there's a question saying like, do you have like zero tolerance and anger and shout in your house and stand on the table? They won't know. They won't know. They won't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just know the outcomes at the end. I promise. I'll legit. Okay. So let's go for question number 1, Kat.
All right. So question number 1 is, how do you approach setting boundaries in a relationship? Is it A, I communicate boundaries clearly and ensure that...
Oh, wait. We can't see it, Kat.
Oh, sorry. Oopsie.
Yeah. She's rolling. She's vibing. That's it.
And ensure they're respected by both sides. Or B, I sometimes set boundaries by avoid confrontation or fear pushing the other person away. C, I struggle to set boundaries and tend to accept the other person's rules over mine.
Ooh, that's a deep one.
Very.
Very, very deep. Oh my gosh, man. We're going into the heart today. So I just click the VVox app here on my phone. Yeah. So what was it? 147. Sorry, guys. 290 025. Excellent. How many people we got in there, Kat?
We have 13 people, but only 8 responded so far.
Right, guys, you've got to be quick. All right.
There's a delay with the audio.
Yeah.
So don't listen to the audio. Just pay attention to the quiz and write it down.
Yeah, you'll see the question change before the audio catches up with you on the stream. All right, that's how we work it out. That's how we roll. So, how do you approach setting boundaries in a relationship? I communicate boundaries clearly and ensure they are respected by both sides. I sometimes set boundaries, but I avoid confrontation or fear pushing the other person away. Or C, I struggle to set boundaries and tend to accept the other person's rules over mine. A, B, or C. All right, here we go. And let's go, guys. We're kicking it off. All right, has everyone answered, Kat?
12 so far.
12 so far. All right, we're gonna have to just move.
All right.
Yeah.
So the polls are 58% said A, I communicate boundaries.
Wow.
B was 25% sometimes, and C was 16%.
Okay. All right. This is important. This is very important. All right. Let's keep it going. Let me just screenshot that one. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. I'm going to put it up on our WhatsApp status afterwards. All right. Let's go for the next question. Kat.
Number 2 is when your partner or loved one challenges a rule you set, how do you typically respond? Is it A, I listen to this perspective and work together to find a compromise? Compromise?
Yep.
B, I get defensive but try to adjust if necessary. Or C, I rarely allow my rules to be challenged and insist on having my ways.
Wow, that's strong. Yeah. Do you think it might be different depending if you're a woman or a man?
I think it depends on the situation, I guess.
Yeah, depends on the situation, right?
Depends on what rule as well.
Because I know that for sure. If you're like I'm in a group, I'm a leader of a group, right? So I will take people's thoughts, but then it's like, okay, this is the way we're gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that might be perceived as being, can we have more discussion? It's like, no, we don't have time. We need to keep it moving. You know what I mean? So there's that. So, so when your partner or loved one challenges a rule you set, how do you typically respond? I listen to their perspective and work together to find a compromise. B, I get defensive but try to adjust if necessary. Or C, I rarely allow my rules to be challenged and insist on having my way. Okay, A, B, or C, how many have answered?
Yep, so 13 have answered, and the polls are 46% said A and B, and 7% said C.
Wow, that's interesting, right? Very, very interesting. All right, let's keep it going. What's the next one, Kat?
The next question is, how do you react when your partner needs personal space? Is it A, I respect their space and use time for self-growth or reflection? B, I feel uneasy but try to give them what they need. Or C, I feel rejected or abandoned and try to reassert closeness.
Okay, so I mean, do they communicate that they need personal space? That's the thing, right? Because if the person communicates that they need personal space, I'll be like, yeah, cool, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. It's all right. See you there. I got my stuff. Yeah. I, you know, yeah. You know, if the person's just like in the corner of a room, yeah. All right, how many of us so far, Kat?
12.
12 so far. All right, let's keep it moving. What's the next one?
The next one, but the results were 83% said A and 8% said B and C.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. So the B and C was even, and a lot of people respect people. I don't know if people really respect people's space like that. You know, seriously. And you know, sometimes you want to give the nicer option. It's like, I don't want to find out I'm a monster. You know, like, come on, man. Like, I've had to answer some of this, like, and I'm like, I'm glad the question's coming at me. Yeah. So I could be like, okay, I know what to pray about.
It's true.
Right?
It's true.
That's it. All right, let's go, mi amiga.
Okay. How do you handle differences in personal values or life goals? Is it A, I encourage open dialogue and speak common ground? B, I avoid discussing differences to prevent conflict? Or C, I try to convince the other person to align with my views?
I'm tempted to put C. you know what? If it was the like 21-year-old Robert, it would be C. Literally, I think it'd be.
Really?
There'd be a temptation for C.
Really?
Yeah. If it was a 21-year-old, because I think then times, especially where the church has matured a lot, and so, you know, it'd be like, it's the man, so we need to. Do you get? I mean, like, forget that. Let's do this. So that's interesting. All right, guys. So A, B, or C, put your answers there, please. Please. And that was number 4, yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, what's the next one, Kat?
Oh, the results
sorry.
72% said A, 18% said B, and 9% said C.
Oh, okay, that's an interesting one, huh? Try to convince the other person to align with my. Some people actually, you know, they're very diplomatic, yeah. But I encourage open dialogue and seek common ground. Okay, we have some very sober listeners, right? All right, let's go for the next one.
Number 5 is, in a disagreement, do you prioritize preserving the relationship or maintaining the rules? Is it A, I aim to resolve disagreements in a way that honors both the rule and the relationship? B, I tend to let go of the rule to avoid conflict? Or C, I insist on upholding the rule even in the expense of harmony?
This is an interesting one.
It's a very interesting one.
Can we get a scenario? What does this mean?
Okay. So, for example, okay, so it's like we won't go to bed arguing, right? We won't go to bed arguing. So I aim to resolve disagreements in a way that honors both the rules. So they'll probably be like, you know what, depends on the level of the argument. Yeah. Like, you know, some things, I won't be a stickler for everything. Then B, I tend to let go of the rule to avoid conflict. So it's like, you know what I mean, just go to bed angry. Just go. And then C is, I insist on upholding the rule even at the expense of harmony. So it's like, you will speak to me now. That kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go.
Okay, so out of 12 people, 50% said A.
I didn't answer.
50%.
Go quick.
Go on.
My goodness. Goodness.
All right, that's 5.
Some people didn't answer. They're still answering.
This is deep, man. Okay. You're looking in your soul.
I had to think about this one.
Yeah.
Okay, 53% said A, 20% said B, and 26% said C.
Wow. That's different.
A lot more C now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, number 6.
Number 6 is, how do you respond to feedback about your behavior in the relationship? A, I value feedback and use it to improve myself and the relationship.
Aww.
B, I listen but may struggle to take constructive criticism personally. Or C, I reject or dismiss feedback, seeing it as an attack.
I want to say A so bad. I'll be lying to myself.
This is reality, isn't it? This is the reality. So guys, put your answers down, ABC. A, B, or C. All right, let's put your answers down. Let's keep it going. How many have answered, Kat?
10 out of 15. People are very undecisive. They keep changing.
Yeah.
Because you know what it is? The more you read it, the more you try to like picture yourself in the scenario itself.
Yeah. It's tough. How you doing there, Lucas?
C's have been looking at me.
It's all good, man. All right, let's go for 7 as we're coming into an end.
Okay. So 60% said A. I struggle to believe that. I struggle to believe that. B, I listened but may struggle. B was 26% and C was 13%.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, and you know, I love the people that were honest, like, because C is like, I reject or dismiss feedback, seeing it as an attack. The person to say that would be like, they're analyzing themselves and they're saying, okay, now you know what? Yeah. This is what I got going on. So we know what to pray about, right?
100%.
It's like what you just said, like earlier on, like, you know, I can see what I want to put, but I have to meditate on that one. All right, let's go for the next one, Kat.
Number 7 is, do you believe rules in a relationship should be A, mutually agreed upon and flexible when needed, B, mostly decided by the person who seems to care more, or C, fixed and not open for negotiation? Come on.
I think, okay, I've got my own thoughts on this one.
Yeah.
Because I'm a stickler for rules. Like, because of the word. The word is the word. Like, when you say your word, it's like, my brain can't process if you do something different than what you said, right? Jesus is the word. He doesn't change. He doesn't. Maybe I'm going too deep.
I see what you mean now, yeah.
So it's like even in the Old Testament, there people got killed because they said a word and they didn't do it. That's how powerful the word is,
so
right?
You'd be more inclined to choosing C then?
I am.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's a psychological issue at the same time.
I definitely understand it.
Yeah, please understand.
A lot more people are choosing C now.
C's a good option. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah. You know what? But the thing about it is like even God doesn't do anything. Even God doesn't do anything unless the person agrees. It's true, right? But then he goes raggo on you like crazy if you fail, like, you know what I mean, Old Testament. But anyway, let's keep it going. All right.
Right. So 78% said A, 14% said B, and 7% said C.
Wow.
Were you the 7%?
We would never know.
But a lot of people are choosing C, but then chose B. And then went back to A.
Really?
So,
that's
B is
interesting.
an interesting one.
Yeah.
Mostly decided by the person who
crazy.
seems to care more. It's true, because you could be swayed by what the other person says, you know what I mean? You'd be like, oh, forget this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me let it go. Okay, fine. You
I think that goes back to the first scenario with like Jake and Anna. Like, okay, who actually makes the rules? Okay, in that case, it'll be Anna.
Yeah.
Because Jake is very laid back, kind of go with the flow. But I think in that scenario, you have to question, okay, if you're very like relaxed about everything in the relationship, like, do you actually like care about the relationship itself?
It's a bit concerning who seems to care more.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's a bit concerning.
I know, right? Let's go for the next one, guys.
Number 8 is
it's the final one, isn't it?
Yep. When a loved one breaks an important rule, what's your initial reaction? Is it A, I discuss the issue calmly and seek to understand why it happened? B, I feel hurt but try to move on without addressing it? Or C, I become upset and demand an explanation or an apology?
I know myself, man. I know myself.
Can we get a scenario?
Do we need a scenario for this one? Yes. So when a loved one breaks an important rule, what's your initial reaction? I discuss the issue calmly. Okay, so this is what you did. I didn't like it. And seek to understand why it happened. Why did you do that? Why?
Yeah.
Right? Then you got B, I feel hurt, but try to move on without addressing it. It's like,
without addressing it?
Yeah,
weird.
crosses.
I don't like that.
Yeah, and then C is, I become upset and demand an explanation. So the person's irate. The person's like, yo, it's not calm anymore. It's like, you better explain yourself. It's all preparation, Kat. It's all preparation. All right, there we go. Everyone. Oh gosh, you know what? The thing is, if I change when I sense stubbornness. Whenever I sense stubbornness in the person, then I become. I go to the book of the law.
You open Bible in a relationship?
No, as in like.
Imagine.
I know,
The Bible
right?
says.
See, that's the grace bit. That's the Jesus version. Look what the word of God says. You try to reason, but when it's like, I'm not budging, and I just have to react back, not shouting, but I'm like, I will literally like make the person see the error of their ways, you know, and it's like that. So anyway, that's it. Let's see. Yeah, you get to know me here on the Breakfast Show.
Mr. Samuel said that he goes for C.
He goes for C on that last one.
Yeah.
I become upset and demand an explanation or apology. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Everyone's temperament is different, right? So let's see the results, Kat.
The results are 37% said A and B.
Okay.
And 25% said C.
25% said C. So guys, add up your results, okay? Add up your results.
Out of 8.
All right, add up all your results. Yep. So how many A's did you get? If you had A's, then this is what it equals to. So if you had A's, equals 3 points. If you got B's, they equal 2 points. If you got C's, they equal 1 point. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, Father. Yep. So let's go into this. So 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9.
Right.
Woo. All right, guys. We're going into this now. Simon says, fixed but ready to help. My spouse worked towards meeting the standard with patience. Nice. B, first and then A. C. Oh, Mary's here as well, his wife. Nice to have you with us, Mary. This is great. All right, so you have to add up your A's, add up your B's, and add up your C's, and you're going to get a number. All right, so we're gonna have to keep it moving now because of the time. I'm gonna have to cut the bit about the responses to get the engagement going for a relationship. We're gonna have to go straight to Bishop's part. All right, but let's have a look to see what the results are. So, Kat.
The results were, if you got 8 to 15 points, you are overly controlling or rigid.
Okay, wait. So 8 to 15 points. You're overly controlling or rigid.
What points did everyone get in the studio?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
What did you get, right?
Oh, starting with me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. I got 19.
You got 19.
Sorry, I just missed this.
Yeah. What about you, Kat?
I got 20.
Okay, Lucas. 60.
Ooh,
about.
just one. And what about you, Robert?
I got 19.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I got 19.
Yeah.
I got 19. Yeah, it's one of those ones.
Yeah.
So, all right, Lucas is the controlling type. Okay. You see, now you know what to pray for. You see, and she.
No, he just skimmed it.
He just skimmed it. He just made it in there. Okay, all right.
The thing is, a lot of them, I had to go for like the one that relates to most. With me, I like to brush things.
That's right.
So it's like, don't really
just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Just leave me my peace, man. I want my peace. I hear you, bro.
He's Jake in the scenario.
He's Jake in the scenario. It is what it is. So, yep. So 8 to 15, your strong stance or rules may overshadow emotional intimacy in relationship. Consider softening your approach and focusing on flexibility to enhance connection and trust. Yes. Let's go to the next one. Kat?
The next one, if you got 16 to 20 points, you got conflict averse or overly accommodating. You tend to prioritize harmony over asserting your own needs. While this promotes peace, it may lead to unspoken frustrations or unmet needs over time.
Woo, Minnie Bow.
Yeah.
Minnie Bow. Yeah. Junior's like, yeah. I know that. Yeah, I think I'm in this. I'm in there. AI got me again. AI got me again.
Yeah.
I confess. You got me. I confess. Like literally. But it's interesting how I'm 19, so I'm just kind of like just under. You know. So that's interesting. We have Deborah. She had 22. Neil Priscilla had 17. And Prosper and Luton's with us as well. All right, let's go for the next one, Kat. David had 24, by the way. Ooh, Will had 17.
24.
Yeah, Sarah had 20. Wow. And yeah, let's see.
So if you got 21 to 24 points, you are balanced and adaptive. You have a healthy approach to rules and boundaries, balancing your needs with those of others.
Okay.
You likely foster relationships built on mutual respect and understanding.
That's beautiful. That
So
sounds
David?
nice. David,
Yeah.
he's the king of the hill.
Yeah.
He's ready for that ring to go on the
24.
finger. You know, we got to find him at 24 as well. Otherwise, if he gets anything less, he will just be defiled and corrupted. You know, this is amazing. But this is great. This is great. So, guys, I hope this has been a real good insight for you. It's been a great insight for me. I really hope you enjoyed this episode of the program. We have a lot more episodes covering a lot more themes on The Breakfast Show. And guess what? Your experience can be even deeper and more interactive because we are live weekdays from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on libertyradio.co.uk. On that Liberty Radio platform, we have a whole host of other inspirational material. As well as that, we have our breakfast show in the mornings. Check it out. There's a live chat, there's a video feed, and you can get up to date on all the breakfast show antics and fun, vim, excitement, and all that kind of crazy stuff that we love to enjoy. This is Robbie here, Robust Presenter, and I hope to see you live and enjoy the next one.